There's two types of people in this world. Those who are titled, and there are those who are untitled. Me and my wife used to stay over here in this apartment right here, right behind the motels right there. And we used to live right here in 225, right there. And man, it was crazy. But this is where we got raided at. This is where I got raided in 2013, on February 15th. And every time somebody called me for some heroin, I come out at night, right? And I come and I put, a bag of heroin right here in the mailbox, and they'll come down the street, come get it and everything, and they'll put their money in there, and that's how I was transactioning. But when I seen the video and the audio, they was up in the tree, right here, up in the tree, video recording me. And when a lady pulled up, I was right down here by this mailbox right there, and you can see me coming from behind the building, and I come up to the car and I hand her the dope, and she'll give me the pop, and then she'll go ahead and scoot on. And I never did have anybody come riding through the back. You see as many cars, and then you got a lot of people with their windows open, and sometimes they be out here on their back patio. Right there in that living room right there, we had a couch right there. So it wasn't no shades or anything. So I sat down and I seen the police running up the stairs right here. So I opened up the door and let them in. They said, "Mr. Jackson, we got a warrant for you and a warrant to search this house." They pulled out this gray container with a whole lot of cut in it, and they pulled out 18 grams of heroin. And they said, "Whose is this?" I said, "It's not mine." And they was like, "Well, whose is it?" I said, "It's not mine. I have plenty of people coming in and out of my house. I don't know who dope it is." Cool. So they hauled me off and took me down to the county jail. Yeah, right over here, AutoZone, right across the street. One day I was leaving from home and I seen two police cars over here. And like I said, I only serve in the comfort of my zone. And if anything that I seen that was out of place, I would know it. But that was one thing that was out of place, and I still failed to realize that I was being watched. While I was in there for 15 days, I was withdrawing from heroin. I was pooping on myself. I couldn't eat. I couldn't drink. I couldn't sleep. I was going through cold sweats, hot sweats. I was just going through a thing. I couldn't even think. I even wanted to commit suicide. But God said that you would not go this way, but I have a plan for you, but at that time, I really wasn't listening to God's voice, even though he was speaking to me in the midst of my sorrow, in the midst of my bottom, in the midst of my struggle. And, and during those days, I would get up from the bed and run to the toilet, get up from the bed, run to the toilet, get up from the bed, and with poop coming out of me, and I would run to the toilet. But that night, I had my hand over the toilet bowl. I was like this. I was just like this, on my knees. And then I looked up, and you can see the light reflection in the water. So I looked in the water, and I seen that reflection. So then I looked up, and I seen some writing on the toilet seat. And I thought it said crunch. So what I did, I rubbed my eyes. And when I looked at it, it said church. And right there, I asked God to deliver me from heroin. cocaine. I asked God to deliver me from the street life. That night, I surrendered my all to Christ. I accepted Jesus Christ into my life that night. At that time, I made a covenant with my hands. I made a covenant with my feet. I made a covenant with my heart. I made a covenant with my nose. I made a covenant with my lips. I made a covenant with my mind not to go back to that old life. That day, God began to move into my life.